Hey there, and Happy New Year, everybody, from Arcade USA. This is Josh. I just wanted to go through some pickups I had last year. It's been a while since I did a video, and I'm moving, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show some of the pickups I had, and then hopefully after I get moved I can do some more homebrew reviews. If there's anything you want to see me review in particular that I'm showing today, put it down in the comments, and maybe I'll do a video on it. So, without further ado, I'll go through my list. I'm pretty excited about a lot of this stuff. As you know, I'm really excited about the retro scene, everything that Willie does. It's a really exciting time to be into retro gaming. There's a lot of projects out there that are really cool. And yeah, so I'll just get started. So I've got a whole stack of stuff over here. So the first thing I wanted to show you was the Mega SD. This thing is really neat. It's put out by Terra Onion, so it's a cartridge, as you can see. It kind of looks like a virtual racing cartridge. And what's special about it is it has an FPGA, field programmable gate array, built in, and it not only is a flash cartridge for regular Sega games, it also does Sega CD games. So it's a optical drive emulator plus the FPGA features to add the additional video and audio capabilities of the Sega CD to your original Sega. It will work in a Model 1, Model 2, you can modify it to work in a Nomad, and I think you may even be able to modify it to work in a Model 3, I'm not certain, but definitely really cool. So I am finally getting a chance to play Snatcher, because my Sega CD, both of the units, are not reliably reading discs anymore, which is, I guess, a pretty common problem. So very cool, preserving that platform for people to play. So I have the Super SD System 3, which is very similar to the Mega SD, also put out by Terra Onion. It's another optical drive emulator done in FPGA. And it just clips onto the back of your TurboGrafx. So I actually have mine here to show you. So this is my Core Graphics 2 system, and it just clips right onto the back of the system here. So it connects to the parallel port on the back. It has an SD card slot, as well as a Sega Genesis 2, Model 2 AV output, which includes RGB. So really, you're getting everything. You're getting a flash cartridge for HuCard games, you're getting the CD functionality, and you're getting RGB, all in one unit. So very cool, and awesome that, again, we're preserving optical drives, which can be kind of finicky these days to keep those lasers going. So definitely really cool. Excited about that one. Those are probably my two biggest pickups. Really excited about those. The next one is very similar, again, for my Dreamcast. So this looks like a normal Dreamcast, but the cool thing is on the inside I have an optical drive emulator called the GDEMU. So it's a board, sorry, it's probably not focusing very well. So there's a board that goes in there that replaces the optical drive, and it uses SD cards, and you can play games off of SD card. And then I had this 3D printed, this little case in here that holds extra SD cards. So no more optical drive, just SD cards. So the loading times are improved, which is really cool. The next item I have is the RetroTank 2X, put up by Mike Chi. This is very neat. It's a little board that basically it will take component, composite, and S-video, and your stereo in, and it will output HDMI. Now you may be wondering why you need that. What this does, which is special, is a no-lag scaler, so it will take 240p signals and upscale them 2 times to 480p, so your TV can recognize it. Some TVs can handle 240p, many do not, or they do not handle it well, and the RetroTank fixes that problem for you. So if you don't have these ports on your TV, or if your TV doesn't handle it well, this little device will allow you to use these other video inputs on a modern display with zero lag, which is huge. The next one is the RGB2 Comp, also by Mike Chi. And this is pretty simple. It takes a RGB SCART input and gives you component video output, which is really handy. I've got a Sony Wega downstairs, and I have a lot of consoles that only have SCART output, not component, so that just converts it. It transcodes it so you don't have any lag, you don't have any quality loss, and you could use your SCART connections on your component TV, which is awesome because I love CRTs. Next item is the Insurgency Industries Carby cables. So as you guys probably know, the cables for your GameCube, component cables for GameCube are extremely expensive. Hundreds of dollars, at least 100, if not 2 or 3. They were very rare, hard to find, and Insurgency Industries made a cable that plugs into the digital out on your GameCube and gives you component video. So very cool. Again, I'm into CRTs, so it's exciting to finally get full quality out of a GameCube onto my CRT. The EverDrive GBA by Crix. So it's a Game Boy Advance flash cartridge. Sorry, having trouble getting it to focus there. Game Boy Advance flash cartridge, which I'm excited to use with my GameCube actually. I've got the GameCube GBA player, so I'm planning to use that with my Carby cables to get 240p onto my CRT for my Game Boy Advance games, which I also picked up one of these. It's a, for the GameCube, it's a SD card to GameCube memory card adapter. And you could use that to load homebrew. And in particular, I want to use it to load Swiss. And Swiss allows you to start games with different video settings for 240p, things like that. And also, there's a really great Game Boy player. The software to play the Game Boy games off of the Game Boy adapter for the GameCube. It's actually better, lower lag, better video quality, and some more options. So if you want to get the ultimate GBA experience through your GameCube, that's the way to do it. It's pretty cool. The next one I have is the EverDrive GB, which is for Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. I'm planning to use this on my Super Game Boy and play those on my CRT as well. And I actually modified my Super Game Boy to, I modified the clock speed so it plays at the proper speed. The US release of the Super Game Boy is, I think, 1.5 or 2% too fast, so the music isn't quite right, and it's not compatible with the link cable. So I can have a near perfect experience with that. The next item is the old school control pad, which this is a TurboGrafx 16 controller put out by Old School. I've never heard of this brand before. First time getting a controller by them. Here's the box. It was $30, so not cheap, but not horrible for a TurboGrafx controller. But it's like the US TurboGrafx controller, so it has the turbo switches there. The buttons feel pretty good. The run and select buttons, 1 and 2 buttons, they all work okay. I played it. It works pretty well. I did pretty good on R-Type with it. It does feel slightly cheaper than a real controller, of course. Pretty much all these new products do, but for what you're getting, it's not that bad. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad at all. And you also get a cable with it here. This is a breakout cable that converts it from the US TurboGrafx to work with the core graphics of the Japanese TurboGrafx systems, which is cool. The next item I have is the Darksoft Neo Geo Cartridge. And it comes in this brown box as the Neo Geo MVS cartridges would if you had ordered one for your arcade machine, which is pretty cool. So the Darksoft cart is a flash cartridge for the Neo Geo. I have a consoleized Neo Geo MVS, so I was able to get the MVS version of the cartridge. And as you can see, it's massive, just like all Neo Geo cartridges. There's the label, and it takes an SD card on the side here. The Darksoft cart is very cool. It has 3 slots, so you can program up to 3 games at a time. It loads them really quickly, and then you can switch between those 3 slots of games and play them on your Neo Geo, which is really neat. There's another Neo Geo product out there, the Neo SD, I believe. I purchased this before the Neo SD Pro was out. The original Neo SD was out, and I think that one only had 1 slot, and this one had 3. So I went with the Darksoft one at that time. Really awesome product if you've got Neo Geo. The next one is another optical drive emulator. this time for the original PlayStation. It's called the PSIO, PlayStation Input Output. You have to have a PlayStation that has the serial port on the back, and you also have to install a switchboard. It was a little challenging. I think Voltar has some updated methods that are a little more straightforward. Not too terrible, but not for beginners, I would say. The solder points are pretty small. But really awesome. Again, faster load times. But with this one, it's neat. You can still use your optical drive. So if you want to play discs, you can. And you can also have it installed with the mod chip. So I have an MMC3 in addition to this. So I can play my backup games, I can play original games, or I can play games off of the SD, which is really awesome. And that was by Sibden Systems. I believe they're in Australia. The next pickup I have is Oregon Trail. Really love this thing. I think they were 15 or 20 bucks at Target. It's kind of styled after the Apple II, and I really love it. It's a full color screen. It's got sound, and to be honest, I kind of prefer it to the original version of the game. It's pretty close, but the shooting in it, there you go. The shooting game in it for hunting is really fun. I like it a lot. And actually, it saves your games, full color screen. It's pretty amazing for the price. Highly recommend it. A lot of fun. And the last item, again, I really like CRTs. I did pick up a small PVM. I might do a video on that later. But I have a Sony TV Wega downstairs. And, well, I can't get this open right now, but yeah, that's not doing very well on video. It's taped. Let's see. This is the G-SCART switch. Here we go. And there we go, the G-SCART switch. Sorry, that's kind of reflective. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 SCART inputs and 2 SCART outputs. It will also clean your sync. So it's got a, I think it's sync separator to separate sync over composite to composite sync. So you can get the best possible video signal. You can hook up 8 game systems to your display, or technically 2 displays. Also very helpful if you're trying to do capture. So if you want to go one to your CRT and one to your capture card, you can play and capture at the same time. And while you're looking at your CRT, you're not getting any delay if you're trying to do like a speed run or anything like that. So yeah, so a lot of stuff, a lot of fun. 2019 was a pretty awesome year for new products. Really excited to see what comes out in 2020. And I'll definitely be doing some more ColecoVision homebrew reviews. I do have a whole bucket here of homebrew games. Some of these I have already done, but I'm hoping to do Spelunker soon. I love this game. Very, very hard, but I think it's a little bit more forgiving than the NES version. I've got Jetpack and Tuxapanzo. Oh, sorry. I think I was showing the back of that. I already did Shmup. I already did Galaga. Zanuck. I don't think I've done that yet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Willie, for doing some really awesome videos on the channel. I'm really enjoying those. If you guys haven't seen them, check those out. And yeah, hope you guys had a happy new year and looking forward to 2020.